the photos, we see the press release, we see how Charlie Stango, goes away. We see all these great things, right? But then for you, the music stopped,
Hmm.
right? So
Correct.
give us like after the case wraps up. We're gonna get back into the good stuff. Don't worry, we'll go through the book.
Right.
We have some mutual people that we know that unfortunately he chatted with, but nevertheless, what happens when the music stopped in this particular case for Giovanni Rocco?
Well, that's a lot of people don't understand, Tom. Undercover work is different, right? You do an investigation, and if you're an investigator, a detective, or an agent, you do an investigation. Yeah, you have a great outcome. You go to trial, and then you win, right? No harm, no
Correct.
foul. But
Correct.
when you're a deep cover and you do these covert ops, you get close to subjects on long-term undercovers, deep covers.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about roll-ups on street corners or just a
Correct.
couple of
Correct.
weeks here and there. Deep covers a whole different beast. And for me, it was I've done this numerous times, 25 years of doing this,
Wow.
So the deep cover cases, I was able to always unplug, and it was never an issue. But this one was right in my backyard, being that I'm from that neighborhood, I'm from Jersey,
Yeah.
and it's hard, right? Going anywhere else and trying to acclimate is a difficult thing. So because of the close proximity to where I grew up, where my family was and how I
Yeah.
lived, this case was different. This case, they decided, they did a threat assessment, the Bureau did, and that was it. So it really wasn't up to me at that point.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a whole new arena for me to live in. I never had to do that before. I had threats on me in the past with different organizations I worked and stuff, but nothing that I ever had to include my family or endure the pain that I did after this case was over. Most guys that were arrested, they were put on a bracelet. And as I was, you sit there in your backyard, and that's how I was for 9 months, sitting around, couldn't leave my house, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go to work. And then I waited, so wait a minute, who's the bad guy here? You start to get it, you start to get in your own head, and that starts to eat you up from inside. So yeah, I served my sentence as well over the last few years. So it's been a rough one.
Well, all right. So I believe you covered in the book, and you and I chatted a little bit and on and off. So forgive me if it was on air, off air, whatever it was. But so your wife was in law enforcement,
Yeah.
and great woman, and she went through a lot. She, just like somebody serves in the military, when you go on deep cover like Giovanni did, they serve as well, right? And let alone she has her normal responsibilities. But what's crazy about your story is it took you to Vegas, and then it kind of took you back here, and now it wrapped up. But where you were, she's shopping and like ran into one of your subjects' wives, right? Or something along those lines. If you don't mind, go a little bit about that, because that was crazy in my mind.
Yeah, that's Murphy's Law, right? If it can happen, it's going to happen to us.
Correct.
There were a couple of incidents in the case as it unfolded. The first being where the soccer game that you're talking about, I write about it in the book. I was at a soccer game with my family, and it just so happened, we bumped into a couple of guys, and that was stressful, And again, my wife was prepared for this, but never to this level. She herself had worked undercover, take it or leave it. She was smart. She left it, but she warned me. She warned me, and I talk about that too. She warned me in the beginning. This is going to be the demise of us. This is going to really, she knew what the federal government would do to me. So she had her own opinions, right? They're going to use you up. They're going to throw you in the garbage like they do everybody else. Like, what are you doing? But again, this was an addiction for me. It wasn't my goal to infiltrate the mafia. That's not what I meant to do. This was just, honest to God, it was just another case for me. It just unraveled like that. So, yeah. And there were a couple. There was a day when I talked about it in the book, Jimmy Smalls. There's a guy I was doing business with, and he called me up one day. And as I'm driving, and I'm on the Goethals Bridge in New Jersey, and he calls me up out of the blue. G, we had a very good relationship.
I remember this. Keep going. I remember
and
this.
He says, G, where are you right now? Right now, where are you? Like, what's the matter? What do you need? Well, where are you right now? Are you on a Goethals Bridge right now? And it just, no, what are you talking about? And here I was, rush hour traffic, mid-span. I'm on the Goethals Bridge, and he's, you got to be on a Goethals Bridge. I swear to God, there's a guy that looks just like you, but he's in a pickup truck. There I was, in a
that wasn't your undercover vehicle, right?
No, it wasn't. No. So yeah, so that was crazy. I had a baby sleeping in the back seat.
Oh my God.
And here I am on a Goethals Bridge. So what's your instinct, right? As an undercover, you're taught to be kind of like right here with your emotions.
Yeah.
So my first instinct is to look around and say, where are you?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not on the bridge. What are you talking? I swear, I got to speed up. And it just from there, it was just like, I'm telling you, this guy looks just, he's your twin. Let me speed up. I got to get.